And we are live, baby. What is up, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I am here with Dash Attack Dante's Rant Room, and we have a special guest, Daniel from Z Wolf. Is that right, Daniel?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I hope I got that right.
Sweet.
So we have a special guest, and the great thing about our guest is that he is actually you are a film director, right, Daniel?
Filmmaker in general. I kind of fell into
Filmmaker.
directing. It's mostly writing.
Sweet.
Okay, great. Yeah, I saw that you were making a Yamcha fan film, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
Okay, correct. Yes. So Daniel is going to be joining our commentary on pop culture tonight, and if you guys like Dragon Ball and fan films, you can go check out yamchafilm.com. Um, and go ahead and check out Daniel's project. And let's go ahead and get started on our first topic of the days, man. So I've been looking, I've been finding just a lot of interesting stuff happening in our culture, and everything from Disney, from Microsoft, Sony. In the world of anime, the world of anime is just bringing in so many new things, and I'm excited for a lot of things, and at the same time, I'm kind of annoyed by certain things in pop culture,
Uh-huh.
which I'm sure you guys already know.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead and screen share here. Hold on a second. Go ahead and screen share. So this story is coming from CNBC. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. So hold on a second. Gotta lower my other volume here. So it says CNBC adults are buying toys for themselves, and it's the biggest source of growth for the industry, right? And there's a new term going around called kidults, right? Kid adults,
It's the
right? It
first.
says,
That's so dumb.
yeah, it's I don't know. So basically, the story is that the toy industry is on the decline, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably guessed that it's because video games are kind of taking over, devices are kind of taking over. I mean, kids rather play with their smartphones and their digital tablets and video games than toys.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen kids play with toys in a long time, and I'm not talking about like, you know, uh, riding a bicycle or like playing basketball outside. No, like not like outside activities. I'm talking about like action figures. Because when I was a kid, I used to take like action figures and go pew 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 pew, right?
Uh-huh.
Like the kids used to tell stories with their toys. So, what do you guys think about the decline of the toy industry?
Um, well, I think that parents should. I don't know. People shouldn't let smartphones raise their kids.
Yeah, I think I'm with Dash on that. I'm not the biggest toy person. I don't know much about this topic per se, but if people want to freaking get toys, I mean the word adults is
I
just
mean,
is
I don't
weird
know.
shit.
I just remember my early childhood was just action figures, Street Sharks, and Power Ranger toys.
Yeah.
That was like that was my childhood. Was Street Sharks and
I think the
you know
only
and,
toy
and,
I
and
want to buy is like the Morphin.
Batman.
You guys know remember? You guys remember the OG Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? I
Yeah.
want to
Oh
I want
yeah.
to buy the Morpher. That's all I. That's the only toy that I want to buy at the moment. Anything else is like, all right. I
You know,
mean,
I remember I had a Beast Wars Megatron T Rex, and my father threw it into the dump, and I was so mad at him.
you know what? By the way,
Wow.
Chin, I appreciate you for stopping by as always. You are a great supporter of not just me, but of Andy and Dash as well. But thank you for joining us. And I agree, smartphones cause short-sighted for kids too. But you know what? And the thing about smartphones, it's just obviously a great tool, but you want to network with other people like we do here on the channel, right?
Yeah,
But
I use my phone like all the time, especially when I'm away from my PC. It helps me manage the channel.
yeah, but like at the
Yeah.
same time, people are addicted to smartphones. People
True.
are addicted to apps like TikTok and Instagram and Twitter
TikTok.
and and you know what else is I realized too, which also affects us YouTubers as well because of the push to it's a push for content creators to just have 30-second videos, 1 minute videos, 2 second
Mm-hmm.
videos, and 2 minute videos. It's like now everyone is so used to watching videos that are a minute, and if anything over that minute, people don't seem to want to tune in as long as
Yeah.
anymore because they're just so used to having their content fed to them in in a minute or
Yeah.
3 minutes, and you realize that's why YouTube, for example, is pushing shorts
Oh
so
yeah.
hard
Oh
because
yeah.
they're trying to compete with TikTok and Insta Thought too, and it's just it's a terrible thing. It's terrible, and but I agree with Chin. Yeah, smartphones can be damaging, but I also agree with Dash as well. We can all agree smartphones, when used properly, can be a great tool. You know, and
Yeah.
it's an adult toy. It's an adult toy for all of us. You play with that
But
stuff
Yeah.
also,
every
I
day.
think you hit the nail on the head. It's supposed to be a tool. And what it's done as a consequence, I think it shortened our attention span, which is why everything now has to be digested in 140 character in 3 minutes. And that's, I think, is one of the consequences of why maybe kids or kids that are on the
Mm-hmm.
cusp of teenagehood kind of thing don't
Yes.
have the same patience that, I mean, I don't know how old you guys are, but I was like at my peak teenagerhood in the 90s.
Right.
So I grew up
Same.
with all that stuff. We had more attention span. We had more, and we still managed to juggle all that stuff because maybe social media was not that much in our face. So we could
Right. Oh yeah.
focus on other things.
Daniel, I agree with you 110%. That's
Yes.
facts. The man is right. Our attention span, and you know what? If and think about it, if it affects us as adults, right? You can only imagine what it's doing to people who are a lot younger than us, right? If we're only watching this stuff and like you only want to watch 1 second or 1 minute videos, these kids out here ain't trying to hear what we have to say if it's past a minute. Like, wait, get to the the meats and potatoes of the conversation, and it's to me personally, it's not get it. It's like I said before, it's a great tool, but I don't know, man. It's just we're just going downhill real quick.
It's always a
Yeah.
double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is that I think now since kids prefer these devices over toys and action figures, now I think it's mostly millennials and boomers who they grew up with shows like Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look at all these Funko Pops, right? I think
Hey,
most of the buyers of these products of these toys are millennials and boomers, and I think Gen Z too. I believe Gen Z, maybe not as much, but
Yeah.
because Gen Z they're in their early 20s right now, but.
Boomers are a
Uh,
little bit way too old. I think you mean Gen X.
All
um,
right, right.
Right. What? Wait. What? Doesn't Boomer become before Millennials?
I think it's Boomer
Gen
and
X
then
are
Gen X,
80s and
right?
90s.
Okay, I'm confused now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well,
What?
the generation before Millennials. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, them. Okay. So yeah, I think those are the main people that buy toys. I mean, I go on YouTube and I look at Tyrone Magnus, I look at Black Nerd and other, kind of like geeky YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
They're always unboxing videos, um, and but like in the real world, man, I really haven't seen like kids play with toys a lot. In my
Yeah.
personal circle, and I think I pretty much get the same from my my network friends,
well,
family, and
I
such and
don't.
such.
Well, I don't know a lot of people. Like I don't see a lot of other people's kids in my life.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Toys aren't really a thing anymore. I mean, isn't that the reason why like Toys R Us got shut down in most like cities? Like it used to be
Um,
it
well, there are several theories as to why Toys R Us backscaled. They did a lot of like bad business decisions. Like a lot of it actually like blamed like all the unsold Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
mm,
You gotta admit, Star Wars was fueling a lot of the toy industry back then. You
it
know,
was.
but
um,
also maybe we gotta split hairs a little bit because there's the toys and then there's the figurines.
Ah, very
okay,
true,
yeah,
true.
Yeah,
Because
the
I'll
high
give you an
quality
example.
stuff.
The irony is that today actually I bought for my kid two Dragon Ball figurines
mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to make my kids behave a little bit more old school. So like watch TV shows with them in full and a little bit less of the shorts and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky enough to get my kid into the original Dragon Ball before Dragon Ball Z. And as soon as he saw my figurine collection, because slowly I started purchasing a few things, he wanted some also. So I showed him a few things, and now he's sort of collecting it as well. He's starting to pretend play type of thing, which made me very proud because, as you guys said, it's not really common anymore. And my kid is diving into that, so I'm super proud.
Nice.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Nice.
so I think that pretty much wraps up the kidults article here. Yeah, so it's the adults that are buying toys now. It's figurines and I guess in collectibles, whatever you want to call it, Funko Pops. I mean, I'm not much of a toy collector. I like books and manga, but I have like one Funko Pop here. So, um, all right. So this next, hold on a second. So this next topic, really got me interested.
I thought we were going to skip this one.
Yeah. Let's talk about
You
this
guys want to skip it? I mean,
Yeah.
Let's get into this one.
oh, you want to? I mean,
Let's talk about it. Honestly, I didn't read it, but I saw the title and
It's a very. I saw a yellow flash thing.
Yeah,
It's just
let
another
me,
deranged comic book writer that wants to put real world politics into DC. We've seen this song and dance
and
before.
then you wonder why Marvel and DC is failing.
yeah. Let me read the title real quick, just so people can hear. So, former CIA agent Tom Kings admits new Wonder Woman book is inspired by fake news about President Donald Trump. Okay, so now we're stepping into the whole political stuff, and although us here we don't like to get political, it does seem as though that they're they take like real world political problems and just throw them into like the superhero comic books. And this does not create a good escape for the consumer.
No, it doesn't.
Exactly. Like when I read my manga or whenever I read comics and I watch anime and watch cartoons, I don't want to hear about real world politics. That is why we watch entertainment. That's why we watch all this stuff, right? Listen, I don't care if you're anti-Trump or pro-Trump. Listen, I don't give a shite. Do you? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's a free country. But the point is, I'd be upset if Obama was in it. George Bush,
Right?
Bill Clinton. I don't give a shite. Kamala Harris. Keep these motherfuckers out of the entertainment industry because it's only going to create a bigger divide. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So like, I remember. So during our trip to New York, I actually did. After you guys left Midtown Comics, I actually did end up buying something. I bought a Batman Beyond comic.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently the next issue doesn't come out for another while, but yeah, like it takes like it seems like it takes place sometime in the future when Bruce is gone and Terry is like now like the Batman, and like yeah, so it's like see he's like a lot bulkier now.
Wait, Terry, the this is Batman Beyond you're talking about?
Yes, this is
Terry
Batman.
McGinnis.
Yeah, Terry McGinnis.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite Batman, yo.
Oh, I love Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond was so cool.
Yo, the sad thing about Batman Beyond, it didn't last. Like it lasted what, 2 seasons, I think.
3 seasons.
3 seasons, yeah, and then like it disappeared from Cartoon Network, never came back.
Yeah, he got cameos in like Justice League and Static Shock,
which was cool, by the way. It was very cool seeing him in Justice League and Static Shock. But I want to read a comment real quick from Chin Ho Wong. It says, Dante, come on. We need to hear Trump say, grab that wonder vagina in the movie. Hey.
Wait, what?
Hey, Chin, I'm going to need to go in the corner and sit your ass there. And don't come out the corner.
Jail.
And don't leave the corner until I say you're done.
Well, he said we need to hear Trump say, grab that Wonder Woman.
And the wonder vagina in the movie.
In the movie.
Listen, I'm gonna need you to get right in your life. All right.
Right. And this one is from Arcana Lover Extended says, I wish anime fans will start canceling comics and pressing issues with these companies.
By the way, Arkin, I haven't seen you join our live before, and so welcome to the chat. You are always welcome. And yeah, my main fans would start canceling comics, and comics is just a dead issue. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think
Well,
comics is just
I
done
don't
and
know. I
done?
mean, if they make like, I don't know. I didn't see anything like too bad in the Beyond thing. Like, so, like I was listening to Yellow Flash says like, so there are apparently like rarely like still good. Like maybe you'll find a good like DC stuff, but like
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm.
know, I think it seems like almost all of Marvel is like crap. Like these days, like
You know,
in the comics.
what we gotta do one day? We gotta do one day is we gotta get somebody who is a comic book pro, who is pro comic book, who is well is a ride or die comic. Get them on
Oh,
the
yeah,
show,
I'm
and
sure
then
we can get like maybe Chuck Dixon or maybe even EVS, though he might be a little bit difficult.
Anybody.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're a big creator or not. We want to. You got to pick their brains and say, what do you guys think about the comic book industry? Me personally, I
Uh,
think I think it's dead.
what about Robert C. Meyer?
Anybody. I don't. Big, small, anyone.
Yeah, well,
Who's
I
willing
mean,
to join
Robert C.
in.
Meyer is a fellow YouTuber, and he's like dealt with like the gatekeeping in the comic book industry. I think he'd be a good
Yeah.
like guest, like because none of us are really like comic experts.
Right, and I think it'd be a great promotion for Andy's channel. Like, we get someone who's gonna, answer our questions. Like debate
Mm-hmm.
us a little bit. Like, hey, like pick your brain. Like, how do you feel about the comic book industry?
Yeah.
I think it's dead.
And
I think it's dying. It's not dead. Okay, to be fair, it's not dead, but it's dying. Okay, it
it's
could
on
be a
life
lot.
support.
It's on life support. There it is, Andy. It's on life support, and it could be a lot
Yeah, and
better.
actually, I wanted to ask since Daniel is a filmmaker, right? Daniel, what do you think about the comic book industry? Are you into comics? Do you keep up with that? What are your thoughts?
Um, I've been able. Sorry, I have something in the back of my throat. Basically, I haven't had the chance to follow recently, just because life got in the way. Family,
Mm-hmm.
kids, that sort of thing.
Got it.
But I do keep up with the news about comics, and it seems to me, and again, this is from an outsider looking in, because I haven't collected comics since, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, I think the last comic that I collected was World War Hulk.
Okay,
World War. Oh
so
man, that's a
So
while. That's a
that's
while ago.
okay.
a little while ago. But it seems to me that it's all about agendas. Now, I have no problem with agendas necessarily being pushed if it's in the grander scheme of things. Let me give you an
Mm-hmm.
example.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
X-Men is an allegory for tolerance.
Yeah,
Right.
The dynamic between Professor X and Magneto is like
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Wow.
yeah,
So, but it's not pushed down your throat. It's all masked within their everyday experiences. So, like the
Mm-hmm.
article that was before about integrating real life politics into it, even though it happened in the past, like we all know Captain America's first issue, what the cover was. We
yeah.
all know when 9/11 happened, like the comic book world acknowledged all of that stuff. So there have been a few occasions, but now it seems to be like really like the driving force in the storytelling, which can be off-putting if
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
coming
What
from
I want to
it also
piggyback off
doesn't
what
help
Daniel
that a
just
lot of
said.
these authors have like Twitter accounts and will like even like blatantly say like stuff like that and kind of like antagonize like
Right.
yeah.
And I gotta piggyback off Daniel. I totally agree. And the thing is, like, what writers had in the past was the ability to create and write a story without having to like directly shove stuff down your throat, right? That was the beauty of previous writers. They knew how to do it, where you could literally watch a cartoon which was somewhat political, and you'd watch it and be like, "Holy crap!" Good example, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. As much as we all love the show, there was messaging behind Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but you wouldn't know it sometimes because it was so well written. Because of the comedy, you kind of just like enjoyed it and just went
Mm-hmm.
along with it, and then you would learn as you'd watch it. You're like, okay, we shouldn't do this. This is we could probably take this lesson from this show and stuff like that.
Well, a
And
lot of those sitcoms always had like wholesome morals, like
Yes, exactly. And that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we
that was
love.
television back then. It's different.
Exactly my point. That modern day writers don't know how to do what was done by their predecessors. These
There
guys in
was
the
a
past.
reason for that. There's a reason for that. It's because modern writers they go into college, right, and they learn all this activist things, right? And colleges are no longer programming them to, exactly for the job. They're just programming them to be activists. But hey,
Right.
that's let's take our tinfoil hats off.
Yeah, we're gonna take the
Yeah,
tinfoil
so
hats
I
off.
like that
But
one.
if you think about it, that's why a lot of people are running towards anime and manga. Think about it, because
it is.
the
I mean,
West has
nine
done such
times
a
out of
horrid
10,
job.
people are going to like gravitate towards like something that's just like pure fantasy. Or no,
Mm-hmm.
and also, Daniel, you were saying about X-Men and being an allegory for civil rights. I was me and Andy both played Final Fantasy 16, and
Hmm.
it actually covers like why slavery is brutal and awful without
Yeah,
like getting into like race, just like the very concept of slavery in
yeah.
general. And it,
Yeah,
and it was a very very well written story.
And people got to
and it's
realize that.
important to tell, and it's not like it shouldn't be tackled, but
Yes.
there's a way to tackle it that
Mm-hmm.
basically it's like the best lesson is that are the ones that you learn without realizing that you're learning them.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
there
my
you
yeah,
go.
God.
true,
How is this such a
absolutely
hard
true.
concept for people to get in this day and
I
age?
know, man. I feel you, Dante. I feel you.
I'm like, when
Yeah,
we
man.
say it every day, people get us in. I know you guys get the same thing in the comment sections on YouTube or Twitter, and people come at you like, "Oh, you're anti this, anti that," and we're like, "No, they're just a way to do something to where it's easy for
Yeah,
people to
subtlety
digest."
is
Yes,
lost on these people.
yes.
Nuance is lost.
I don't want to watch a show where it's like white man bad, white woman bad, black people good. No, no, I don't need you telling me this stuff. No, 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 no. And that's what is modern Western entertainment. Not all, to be fair, but a lot of it. And that's why
Yeah.
even besides comic books, TV shows on a regular are losing fans because no one wants to be preached at. No one
Yeah,
wants to be preached
especially
at anymore.
cable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
really quick, guys. Just what after what Dante said. I just want to say I recently made a video about there was this rapper, right? This rapper who became Christian during the pandemic. He says that because he has connections with people in Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
and his friends from Hollywood literally told him like, "There's not gonna be any original movies until 2027. So we're gonna spend like what 4 more years without no original movies." So yeah, just think
Oh,
about that for a second.
You know what it is like,
That's
guys.
frightening.
Yeah.
It
Oh
is.
yeah.
why can't they just come up with something new and take a risk? Like, I'm sick. Like, hey, they're actually making another Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah,
I did
I
not
heard.
know that actually. Did not know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It's
come
like a
on.
prequel or
Like,
something, if I remember correctly.
it's like I hated the Tim Burton remake. I absolutely hated, even if it was supposedly closer to the book than the
Wait,
original. I
is
I
it
hated the Tim Burton remake.
is the new movie gonna have Depp in it or somebody else?
No, no, it's a completely new thing.
It's like a
So
Oh.
it's like
prequel. I think
another
Willy
reboot.
Wonka as a kid or something.
It's like a
Oh.
prequel about how Wonka got the factory or something. I really couldn't
Yeah,
care less. Like how he got the factory doesn't matter.
doesn't
What
matter. Yeah.
matters is it becomes his factory. He has
Mm.
the Oompa Loompas and he has this like unbelievable factory and he's this eccentric dude
Mm-hmm.
and people like almost die or maybe die in this factory because they're
Oh.
spoiled little brats.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, well, I
I
see
mean,
you got any topic up there, Andy?
that's Willy Wonka. And that's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for me. Like I hate Depp's Wonka was pretty awful. I
Okay, I
mean,
gotta ask it.
Depp's a great actor, but that movie was just
Yeah.
Well,
bizarre.
I gotta
Burton
pick your
is
I'm gonna pick your brain real quick, Dash. I'm sorry, but so is the first movie is Willy Wonka? Who the fuck is Charlie?
Charlie, well, you see the book.
Charlie's the little kid at the end of the Willy Wonka movie that got the factory.
Yeah, yeah. So the book
Oh.
was originally called Charlie and the Chocolate
Chocolate
Factory.
Factory.
The first movie was changed the title to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, even
Mm.
though, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So like a lot of times, like movies, like when they were doing adaptations, sometimes they'd change the title from the original
Yes.
source. Like
Mhm.
I know there was this one book we studied about mountain climbers, and I think they changed the name of the movie to Three Men on on a Mountain or something.
Mhm.
And even though that wasn't what the book was called.
Gotcha. All right. So
All
they
right.
changed something up. Okay. Gotcha. What do you
All
got
right,
next?
guys. So I'd like to move on to the next juicy topic over here from Bounty into Comics. So I think we all made a video about this. So Netflix live
Yeah.
action One Piece executive producer Marty Aldenstein reflects on failed Cowboy Bebop adaptation. Says what we learned is that the fans are expecting to be true to the source material.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what, man? I saw this video. I saw this article, and obviously you guys saw I made a video about it. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is the biggest no shite moment in history. Like, we've been saying this for literally years. Hey,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we get it. It's not gonna be 100%, you know,
No adaptation ever is.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you
And it
gotta
can
keep it.
be.
It could be, but like,
No, no, no.
it's,
It can't be. It
oh,
cannot
you're
be.
right. It can't be right, and exactly. And you know what? In a way, it shouldn't be 100%. We all understand that.
Yeah,
But
like
it's
90, 80, 85.
yes,
Like,
yes, exactly. 90, 95. I've even said it for 85. It's got to be so close to the source material that it is recognizable to the OG fans that made these suckers rich.
yeah.
That's my beef with them. That is my beef with them for years. Like, listen, change small stuff. That is fine. I get it. But don't forget that you're rich because of us.
Yeah.
We bought the product.
So this should this thing should come out probably next week, I believe. So if they actually, if One Piece fans actually like this, like, then I'm hoping that, like, that maybe, like, because I would love to see a live action Naruto, but have some things a little bit different and condensed, because,
Mhm.
like, there are parts of the original story that I think could have been better, and I think, like, a more, like, live action version could do it, but I can also see it going very, very wrong. So I would like for breakdown. It can be its own thing, but, like, it has to have respect. It can't be
Yeah.
trying to, like, either build
Mhm.
on top of,
Right.
like trying to, like, piggyback. Like, so the thing about Cowboy Bebop is that it's apparently a horrible adaptation of, like,
Did
I
you watch
mean,
it, Dash?
I
I
did
mean,
not.
well,
I own
Andy,
I
did you
own
watch it,
I own
Andy?
the DVD. I've
I
seen a few
watched the whole
episodes of the
thing.
original.
Listen,
Uh,
I am a big fan of the anime. I'm sure Andy is. We are OG anime fans. I'm sure maybe Daniel is. Anime is great. Soundtrack is phenomenal. I have the soundtrack of Cowboy Bebop on my phone right now. I love it. When I saw the live action and I saw not just Faye, listen, we all rag on Faye, which she horrible Faye. Every other character was bad. Every other character. The only one character I sort of liked, and I say sort of,
Jet Black.
sort of, was Jet. Only because one, physically, like body build, looked like him, and two, when he spoke, I was like, hold on, you did your homework. I could tell the actor at least tried to at least
Yeah.
sound.
Oh yeah.
That's
And I can-
commendable. I like that. I like
and-
when actors do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know who did that? Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill did that for Geralt.
Yes, he did. Exactly.
Yes.
When people push themselves to sound like the character they're portraying, it's a race swap, and you guys know I hate race swaps, but that part, I was like, bro, I give you props. You sound literally just like the English VA
Yeah, he
for
did his
Cowboy
research.
Bebop. I clap for him.
He did his
Everybody
research.
else can suck my nuts. They were horrible. They were trash.
But also-
It was just every interpretation from that show was bad. Spike
Yeah.
was, yeah, whatever. He was
I
like,
want to
okay,
hear what Daniel has to say because
yes, by all
Well,
means.
well, I mean, I might be a little bit different in my expectations. Like, basically, when we convert or we adapt an anime
hmm
into a movie,
Mm-hmm.
we're condensing a lot of storytelling into an average of about an hour and a half, which
yeah,
Facts.
is impossible to do. So even let's say even if you reach 80%, it is tremendous to reach 80%. So
Mm.
I come more from the place of, if the spirit of the adaptation is accurate to the actual source material, I'm good. I'm happy. But if, let's say, it's just okay, we just want to hit the visual. Like, for example, the adaptation with Scarlett Johansson. What was it?
yeah.
Ghost in the
Ghost in the
Shell.
Ghost in
Shell.
the
Ghost in
Shell.
the Shell. Exactly. The visuals were there. They were aiming to do the visual, but I felt that the heart was not the same as the actual anime.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
So visually it can be striking, but the One Piece trailer looks like it has the same look.
Mm.
Would it have the same heart? Would it have the same feel? If it gets close to that, I'm personally happy. I know that
That,
there have been personal adaptations. Like, I've seen the Japanese adaptation of Kenshin. That's one of the animes that I grew
that
up
was
yeah.
loving.
That was really good.
Uh,
That was
that's
really
pretty
good.
good.
and
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
very good visually, and the vibe was good, but it was not like 100%
Yeah.
adaptation. Like,
So
Yeah,
the Full Metal Alchemist movie, the first one, the live action one.
I
I
loved it.
I did not what?
I loved it.
Oh, you
Mm.
liked it?
Yeah, yeah. But not because it was like a good adaptation, that kind of thing. Because the dynamics between the brothers was there. The quest to restore his brother was there. Like the hearts. I felt like it would. They were attempting to adapt the heart of the show to that live
Mm.
action movie.
hmm
Like, they took liberties, they took creative liberties. Absolutely, I understand. But like, for me, if there's an attempt at the hearts,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sold.
Yeah, I just feel like, like they condensed like a lot of story, but I think I do remember, I think the best part is like they do Maze's death pretty well in the live action version. Like it's almost
Yeah,
like the anime.
yeah, and that pulls at the heartstring. That's what you
Yeah,
want to
I mean that
captivate the
is one of
audience.
the most like gripping moments in like the entire
yeah.
series was like what happened to Maze
Mm.
and how he dies. Like, spoilers.
Spoilers.
I
But
want to
that's
give
So
but
my
that's
take
usually
on this.
what attracts me. I mean, like, I'm the kind of person that will give every movie a chance. I remember when the Halle Berry's Catwoman came out, I actually went to the cinema to see it. I knew it was garbage walking in, but I'd give it a chance. Like, I'm an optimist. So,
this
hmm
before Andy talks, Andy, I know you got something to say, and
Yeah.
bro, I'm waiting for you. But that Catwoman movie was trash. But
it was.
Halle Berry, god damn.
Oh, I agree 100%. Holly Berry is hot.
Halle Berry in
Yeah.
that movie. I know that movie gonna be trash walking in the theater, but I was like, "How fine ass! I'm about to go spend this money. I'm about to regret it." But God, let me see that ass on that screen. But go ahead, Andy.
But that was the attraction. That was the publicity. Halle Berry in a catsuit. That
oh
was that.
yeah.
That was the marketing.
You know
Oh
what?
yeah.
It worked. It
It
worked.
worked. I mean, I
But when I
personally I like the movie. I like I thought the action was pretty good.
The action
I
was
didn't think it
good,
too
but it
bad.
wasn't Catwoman though. Like it wasn't like
I've only seen the nostalgia critic review of that movie. I've never seen the
Okay.
full thing.
it's a good.
there's nothing Catwoman about it, essentially,
Yeah,
when you
it
compare
doesn't
it to the
seem like it.
comics.
Exactly.
There's no Batman. There's no Gotham.
There's no Catwoman at all. Like
It's
it's
not
just a
Selena Kyle.
no. It's Catwoman by name, like the title, but like it's not the
Yeah,
DC version where we're supposed to like, we all know and love.
yeah. The one thing it had going for it, because at that time it was kind of like in a dead space between Batman franchise and that kind of thing. It did have, at that point in time, at that specific point in time, the best CGI action, because CGI was emerging, and
True.
the movies before that had no real CGI, and this one did. So
Mm.
even though it flopped commercially and critically and any other way you can think of,
Mm-hmm.
it did elevate the bar for a short
It
while.
it did. You know what? That's a fact, Daniel. Listen, man. Yo, why aren't we friends, man? Because you out here speaking all kinds of facts, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna let you speak, bruh. But
Thank you,
Andy,
I
but
appreciate it.
Andy, what you
guys,
got, bruh?
yeah. So about Cowboy Bebop, I watched the whole Cowboy Bebop thing, right? So I watched up until the fifth episode, and then from the fifth episode, I skipped all the way to the ninth episode. I did not like the ending, right? And I just thought that the cinematography was actually good. I think that like the visuals were good. And that's
Yes.
I think that's the same problem that what happened with the Star Wars movie. They were
Mm-hmm.
focusing so much on the visuals, like, oh my god, it looks so pretty, right? But then like the soul of the show is just wasn't there.
Well,
Yep.
that and
Uh,
Rian Johnson didn't really care about the soul and spirit of Star Wars, and in fact, he's openly shit on it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
yeah, so like he had like it had cinema flair, and that's like kind of like its only redeeming quality is the visual aspect. Everything
Yeah.
else is garbage.
Here's what they're doing. This is what they're doing with the One Piece live action, right? What they're doing right with the One Piece is the is promoting it because, for example, this character right here, the actor Inaki, he's
Mm-hmm.
Mexican. This guy, he went to Japan to meet up with Oda, Ichiro
Yeah,
Oda.
I saw that. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that
I
was like
love
the
that.
promotion, like promoting the show, like showing that the actors really care about this and that they're actually into anime and they're meeting the creator and just being involved in the community, being
Yep.
involved in the culture. That's what they're
Yep.
doing right.
Yep. I
that
And
shows the
agree.
heart is in the right place.
yes,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like Daniel has been saying, the heart.
people like tout like Silent Hill as one of the best video game movies of all
Hmm.
time. Like, it wasn't like a 100% accurate adaptation, but it captured the heart of like the Silent Hill games, and the director was a Silent Hill fan.
Yeah,
Indeed. And you know what? And I agree. I mean, I've seen a lot of live action movie adaptations, like Resident Evil, which is horrid. But Silent Hill, the first one at least, was very good. I gotta say, I liked it. As a previous Silent Hill fan, I gotta agree with Dash on that one. Yes, I agree. And to,
yeah,
to piggyback off Daniel and Andy, yes, this is how you promote your live action show. You want people to see that yes, we are fans of this product. We want to give you the best of the best. And they're do. I mean, listen. I'm not saying this to be guaranteeing that the show will be great. Listen. You guys know my stance on live action shows. I'm very skeptical,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I'm more
watching
open.
this.
I'm watching this because I do. It's weird, but I do have some hope that this will be somewhat good because I see the heart. You guys said the heart is in this show.
Yeah.
I would say honestly at this point I am 90% confident that this will be pretty good.
Yeah, and you
I
know
mean, at
what?
this point,
Yeah,
definitely an A for effort. They're trying their best, so
yeah. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I appreciate that. Like, I mean, it's basically and I'm not trying to rail the conversation topic,
Yeah.
but what inspired me to make my Z-Wolf movie was the crap adaptation of Dragon Ball Evolution,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel that.
where the
Yeah.
where the
We don't speak of
director
that.
actually, I think, flat out said like he never either he never heard or never watched it.
Oh,
So
God.
so it's like the research was not even there. There was no real attempt. They just did it for the sake of, okay, let's get the movie rights type of thing. So
Jesus.
so that's kind of like made me go, yeah, if I can do something similar on a welfare version of that budget, like, and it's decent. Imagine if I had that budget.
Is that a welfare version?
Yeah, because
You got
Dragon
my-
Ball
you
Evolution,
got my
I think, had like
support.
a $20 million budget. So
I mean, that's crazy because that movie was so
Uh.
bad. And you know what's crazy? Because they actually had at least one decent, I would say, B-list star in that movie. Guys ever see?
Spike.
Yes, thank you. Wow, I was gonna say, it, but I'm glad you. Yes, Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the show, the spinoff Angel, was in the show. He played Piccolo,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah, the Piccolo actor was like the
James
best part of that
Marsters, I
movie.
think.
James Marsden. And he was also a super wizard in the show Supernatural. He is an amazing. I'm talking about his acting is
Absolutely.
good. You guys know he's not British. He's not British. He's American.
Oh
Oh
wow.
wow, so he's got like a Christian Bale thing going on where he can just
Yes,
interchange accents.
he fooled the shit out of me. And I was like, okay, this is cool. The man is a great actor, and they just abused the opportunity with him in that movie. I was flabbergasted.
I mean, when you look at the cast is really solid. Like it just they had absolutely garbage to work with. Like if you look
Yes,
at the cast, like who was in there, like
the guy who played
Chow
Roshi
Yun
was all
Fat.
right.
Yeah,
Chow Yun
like,
Fat, he's a superstar, and then he's a global superstar. He's known everywhere since the 80s.
like
Oh,
I
Cho
saw,
Yong Fat.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, like
exactly. And
the
also
kid
the
who
woman that
played.
played Bulma, she's A-lister in Hollywood. She's still in
Yeah.
Mhm.
everything.
I
I
didn't know
mean,
that.
the kid who played Goku, he was Tom Cruise's son in War of the Worlds. For
Exactly. Yes.
like I saw him in interviews. Like he was talking like about like hey, if people like it, maybe we can do Z. Like so, it seems like he at least liked the source material, but
But
like
the director and the script writers had absolutely no idea what they were dealing with,
Not at
because
all.
that movie lost me at the intro text. Like when
Mm-hmm.
they were like giving like a long time ago kind of thing,
oh
and they're
Yeah.
yeah,
giving like a summary. And as soon as in the first sentence they're saying that Piccolo and his main weapon Uzaru, I go, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
You
what?
lost me.
First of all, they had Goku using the Kamehameha way to turn, like to put off candle lights. I'm like, motherfucker, that is
no,
a
hey,
beam of
that shit
It's
was healing
airbending.
people. That
that's,
shit
that's
was
a beam.
healing.
That is a beam of destruction that destroys planets. And you out here blowing out candles with this. What are we doing? that hurt
It's
my
healing.
soul.
I mean, you guys know in the anime when Goku even did it accidentally the first time, he totaled the car.
Yes, his first attempt at a child in Dragon Ball doing the Kamehameha wave destroys a car. No, Teen Goku in the movie puts out candles, and I was just like, who wrote this? I want to slap them so
Yeah,
hard.
I remember like when they were
All
trying to
kinds of
escape
wrong.
Pilaf's castle, like Goku like trying to muster the Kamehameha strong enough to destroy the entire wall, and like he had to try several times before he could do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that movie did not do the anime or the manga any justice whatsoever. And this, you know what? It goes back to One Piece. Why people are very skeptical about live action adaptation. Now, this we've come far. We're all older now. We've seen how it used to be to how it is now. It's come far, but listen, I've seen the trailer for One Piece. It looks great. I think I'm willing to give it a shot.
I mean, like the
Yeah,
video
same here.
game. No one ever thought the video game curse could be broken. I maybe the live action anime curse can be broken. Like I don't
believe it
know.
can.
I mean, like
believe
I,
it
I
can.
understand people are going to be looking at this, and I'm kind of like I'm kind of rooting for this show. But hey, if it's another dud, it's another dud.
It's another dud, another
All right,
dud.
well, check this out. I mean, it's coming out in August 31st. We are literally what 5 days away from it. So
Yeah.
when it comes out, I'm gonna binge the whole thing. Like
Mhm.
in a few days, and I'll give you guys a report. So
Okay.
Oh,
Same
I'll
here.
watch
make
it.
a review
I'll
of it.
watch it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not
Anything
big
a
on.
chance if it's in the right place, and this one so far seems to be like it's coming from the right place. So it's
Oh yeah,
definitely
I
Yeah,
got a
well,
good
the
my
big
feeling.
attention.
judge is going to be if One Piece fans like it.
Yes,
Yes.
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 The
See,
community.
the fans are double-edged sword because they will nitpick every little thing. Like,
True.
okay, maybe the hat was 5 degrees tilted to the wrong direction. Right? I remember when Superman Returns was coming out, and everybody was blasting the logo on his chest. Because, dude, if you look at the initial issue, the logo I think was like yellow and black or something like that, like
Yeah,
or red
the
and
logo
black.
is a little funny for Superman.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a look. So, but everybody destroyed that movie because of that. Like the red was not red enough, and like people. I mean, come on, it's red. It doesn't need to be like a specific type of of dye, just it's red. It's good.
It's got to be Kryptonian red, bro. What are you talking about? It's got to be Kryptonian red, Kryptonian yellow, Kryptonian blue. How are you not getting this, man? Kryptonian colors.
All right, well,
I hear
guys,
but that's the thing. So if people go and criticize these movies to that kind of a degree, it will never succeed.
All right, boys. Before you guys proceed, I'm gonna head off for the night. I am not feeling too good.
all right,
I'm
Dante.
under the weather right now, but listen, great talking to you guys. Great live chat. I will be tuning in up until the NyQuil kicks in.
All
So-
right,
all right.
Feel
all right, get
better.
better, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you,
feel
man.
better, man.
Thanks, guys. Good night, bros.
All right,
Night.
all right. So now it's just us, guys. I would like to move on to the next topic. This one's about anime. Hold on a second. This is about anime. So, anybody here plays Genshin Impact? It's a really popular online game.
I have not played Genshin Impact, but I know how popular it is. It's like it's Honey versus most popular game.
I
I
mean,
haven't
Hoyo.
played it. I think I've seen some maybe like Twitter ads or something like that, but I haven't.
You
Played
know,
it.
that anime convention I went to last summer had some Genshin voice actors there.
Oh yeah, so basically, there's going to be a Genshin Impact anime, and it's going to be in collaboration with Ufotable, right? And if you guys, if I don't know, if
Yeah.
you
So
guys follow studio,
is this going to be from a Chinese studio? Because Genshin's a Chinese.
well, yeah, Genshin's Chinese, but it's going to be a Japanese studio. Actually, it's the same studio that worked on Demon Slayer and Fate Zero. So there's actually no release for the anime yet, and I mean, I kind of had a feeling that this would translate into an anime because number one, although it is a Chinese property, the art is so anime that it was going to happen regardless,
Yeah,
right?
it'd be better. Like you can enjoy the story without the grind or the paywall.
Yeah, I was never into gacha games, but I was
I've
actually
tried to
pretty
get into a
excited.
couple. The longest one that I stayed on for was War of the Visions, Final Fantasy, Brave Exvius. Say that 3 times.
Wow.
I don't even know what you just said.
War of the Visions, Final Fantasy, Brave Exvius.
Nice.
Oof,
Yeah, that's the full title. I just call it War of the Visions.
it's a mouthful.
Yeah, well, it's a Final Fantasy tactics game. Like sometimes they have events where you can get characters from the main series.
Mm.
And the story was pretty good. It just got boring at the second chapter.
Right, and yeah, so Genshin Impact getting an anime, and now Genshin Impact is one of the most successful like MMOs because it's you see it's so big. It reached $1 billion. I think it went past $1 billion, right?
Well, I mean,
And
it's an open world game you can play on the phone. Like, that's like
yeah, yeah, because it's there's no exclusivity to any console, like I always say, and it creates more reach, so you can play it really on anywhere.
yeah, like they have like a console version. I know Hoyu's got another game coming out that I'm.
I think it's called
Um,
Honkai, right?
Oh, well, he's Honkai Star Rail now, but there was another one that they introduced at GamesCon. I'll remember the title eventually, but yeah, like they're coming out with all these like mobile games, and almost all of them are big hits. Like this company, like
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and they're using the anime style to to sell it as well. I think that's part of the success. Maybe that's just my opinion, but seeing how entertainment is going, anime is really just taking the win in a lot of things. And it's become Genshin Impact is so popular that even Microsoft started looking at it and say, wait, this thing made $1 billion. Hey, we need a game just like Genshin Impact, right?
Hmm.
So now you're gonna have companies like Microsoft and I'm guessing Sony pretty soon. They're gonna want a game like Genshin Impact. Like, hey, we
Oh
gotta
man,
make
Microsoft is so late to get on the Japanese train. Like,
yeah.
they really, like, I know they gave up after Blue Dragon failed, and like that was their like last attempt at a JRPG.
Yeah, they've never like the
Yeah,
Xbox
you ever play Blue Dragon?
a long time ago. That was a long time ago for the Xbox, my friend's house. But it's the Xbox was never an RPG machine, like the PlayStation. So, and I think now that they see the dollar signs, in the billions, they're thinking, hey, maybe we should give it a try again. It
Well,
could
that's
be a
the only
little
thing
too
that gets
late.
their attention, no matter what platform, no matter what uh, field of entertainment it is. As soon as the money is there, everybody's looking.
Oh heck yeah, that's just how it is. And following up with the next anime we're gonna be covering, it's Demon Slayer. So in Demon Slayer, we are on the third season. If you guys have been watching and catching up with it, and it looks like basically the last few parts of the manga they're gonna be covering just in movies.
Not a
And
show, not a season. They're just gonna do movies.
I mean, it says here Demon Slayer will reportedly get multiple movies for its longest manga arc, which is, I'm guessing it. By my knowledge of the show, of the story, it's gonna be like towards the end. And but I mean, it's kind of silly because what they've been doing, they make a Demon Slayer movie, and then they break it down into episodes later on, right?
So are
So
these movies like theatrical release or just like TV special style?
theatrical releases, my friend.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they'll be released in Japan, and the anime, the limited, it'll have limited release in the United States, but the limited release will do super well and compete with like big
Oh yeah.
blockbuster films, because that just seems to happen with every big anime film. Like, they give them the tiny releases, and then they end up doing better than all the movies
Well, but
coming
here's the
out.
thing. Here's the thing about Demon Slayer. I think what happened with Demon Slayer is that Demon Slayer came in at the perfect time during the pandemic, right? So the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie, right? It was released during the pandemic. I think it was November or October. I don't remember exactly. 2020, and it was. I mean, it was a hit. And this was a little after. I think it was towards the end of 2020 when they started to open up a little bit. They were allowing people into theaters. And I put them. A lot of people just put on their masks, went to the movies, and poof, Demon Slayer was one of the highest grossing anime movies since Spirited Away. I mean, it made like I think like 500 million dollars.
wow.
Which yeah, it was huge. It was huge during the pandemic, mind you. This was during the pandemic too. So Demon Slayer,
I really need to give this series another shot.
I've it's
I
inevitable.
just like I dropped it too early. I think I need to know. It probably gets good like at
It
some point.
does. Trust me, it gets really good. And Demon Slayer is just one of those shows. It came in at the right time, at the right moment, and during the pandemic, after late in 2020 when everything was starting to open up a little more, and it just the timing was just perfect with Demon Slayer. So
So it filled in a nice void.
oh heck yeah. So I mean, and it was so profitable, and I'm thinking now they're gonna make more movies of it. Of course they're gonna make more movies. So and and it's probably gonna have the same level of success, if not more, now that everything's open and now that it's super duper popular. And if you watch season 1, season 2, season 3, like it's become one of my favorite shows. Like when I first heard about Demon Slayer, I just thought, okay, another Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's nice, or something like that, right? Just because like stories that have to do with like killing demons tend to like have similar stories, at least in my mind, right? And so that's why I just kind of ignore it. But it's really good, well
Well,
written story,
what
and I think you should give it a chance, Dash.
what's cool about like Demon Slayer is that like they're not going for like the whole Western style demons. Like, these are like really like Japanese oriented like demons.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Like with the gigantic face mask spirits kind of thing.
Yes. Yes. Actually,
Oh,
there is one like that.
nice.
There is actually a demon like that, and of
It
course,
was a
with your
live
with your
action
anime
movie
style.
with those kind of spirits. I forgot the name though. It was
Oni?
beautiful.
No,
Which one was the name?
Oni.
Oni, Oni.
I know that's the
I
name
think
of the
it's a
Japanese.
Netflix. I think it was a Netflix co-production, if I'm not mistaken, or at least released on Netflix. It was just beautiful. It's basically like a high school kid. It's kind of like Yo-Yo Hakashu in a sense,
Was that
but
a
like
live action?
all this, yes, live action. But,
Oh,
but
you're talking about Mob Psycho, I think.
yes, yeah. Oh, that was good.
Mob
But
Psycho. Okay, yeah.
it's in the same spirit as that movie.
As Mob Psycho, you watched the live action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mob Psycho that takes place in Tokyo. So Demon Slayer takes place in the 1800s, basically like what's it called? It's not the Meiji era.
Uh,
It was
Chiho says it's the Edo period.
the Edo period. Yeah, right. That's basically once America they threatened Japan and to open for trade, and then like all the European stuff started to come in. Yeah, that's that period. So I think the 1850, 1860, something like that, right?
Yeah.
The 1800s. So that's when Japan started opening up to
Yeah,
the
so
Western
around
world.
the time of the Last Samurai. If you ever seen that
Yes.
movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's that era. Exactly that era, my friend. Yeah, so that's when Demon Slayer takes place. I like the fact that it takes place in that era. I think that's one of the things that makes it so unique. Like from other shows about killing demons, it's time period. You know.
Yeah. No, that time period. I think it's the right the perfect crossover between old school and new age. So the storytelling in that aspect, like you're dealing with guns versus swords, which one is ideal? The old school of thought versus the modern way of thinking. So
Yeah.
storytelling that takes place and during that time, I personally love them.
Oh yeah, yeah. And actually, in the shows, there's a few characters that have guns, but like you said, in that time period, there's really not a lot of them. It's just
Yeah,
it's but it's just I don't know. There's just something about the 1800s about just living in the past that makes it um just that much more better as for the story.
yeah. It seemed a little bit more innocent in terms of lifestyle.
Yes, exactly. I think that's what's part of it. So yeah, more Demon Slayer movies coming the way, and I think I'm gonna watch all of them.
It might be a good idea because if they have movie budget type of animation, it could be even better looking than if it was a show.
Oh yeah, they do. They do. They have because since the first movie was so successful in the hundreds of millions, they're definitely gonna have a movie budget. So yeah. Anyways, moving on to the next one. We got Redo Healer season 2.
Yeah, not my
Um,
thing.
what's that?
Not redo a healer. I know like that one like really got under the skin of like a thing, but it just seemed like a little too like wrapping paper for me.
I do not get what you just said.
On consent, like the words you can't say on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, apparently there was like some controversy around this anime, but season 2 is on the way, and the author gave his input on it. Right. So, hold on a second. Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought.
I just know like what I hear that the story and stuff that happens in the show is really effed up.
Yeah. Well, I thought I wanted Dante to cover this because he's the Redo Healer expert.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm sure he'd.
yeah,
Yeah,
he left early. But basically, for those of you out there who are into Redo Healer, season 2 is around the corner, and so since Dante left us early, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our PlayStation topic. You got a PlayStation, right, Dante? I mean, yeah, of course you do.
I do.
Okay, so basically, PlayStation. A lot of people were kind of expecting for PlayStation to. By the way, this is more like the gaming side of the podcast,
Oh
right?
yeah, so this is good that we covered because like I was hearing murmurs about this, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really like latch on because like I have no interest in like getting their Switch knockoff thing. But like, what's the big thing? What got people upset?
Right. So basically, I think we did cover this before that Sony PlayStation, they kind of created like a Nintendo Switch type of handheld device for the PlayStation 5, right? And it cost about $200.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And now, so basically, they're kind of making like I guess like kind of like a package, like a combination with all these devices. Now they also added in some like AirPods, like earbuds, which they cost about $150, which is absolutely ridiculous.
What the
So,
hell?
There. It better come with a TV.
You know,
yeah.
that's just Sony trying to test their abusing their brand loyalty.
Well, okay, so it's that the handheld device, and then they also have the controller, the DualSense Edge, which is also 200 like what $200 controller. So yeah, so they're
So
making
yeah,
all of
so
these.
it doesn't even come with the controller. That $200 screen doesn't even come with the controller.
No, it comes with a controller, but like everything that because like there's a separate
Yeah,
um
yeah, the dual sense, like that's
yeah
the impulse that has the impulse triggers that triggers like during like certain events, like when you're playing FF16, like you'll
yeah
feel rumblings on the.
right.
I
So it
guess it's
has
like the
that
Pro controller on the Switch.
something like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fancier. It's
but
a
a little
fancy
bit more.
controller.
It's basically got like rumble packs in the triggers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so they got that. They got the DualSense Edge, $200 controller. The now they have the handheld device, which by the way, you cannot use it without Wi-Fi. So meaning you cannot leave your house with it. So I don't
So
see the
like
point of it.
it's so like why not just get a Steam Deck at that point?
Exactly. But you know what's funny? It's like they were able to make this crap, but people have been begging for a PSP Vista or something like that, right? And Sony they haven't come back with any with a new
Yeah, why don't
PSP.
they just get back into portable gaming? Why not just make like their own like little mini Switch?
Yeah, and the thing is that everything is moving towards mobile, mobile devices. So because now we had the Steam Deck is mobile, Nintendo Switch mobile, a lot of mobile games, which is a huge
Well, I
market.
mean, like you could just think of the Nintendo Switch as just a bigger Game Boy. Same with the Steam Deck.
Yeah, and now we have things like what was it? I think it was called the Asus ROG 7, which is like a handheld PC. And then there's like other handheld PCs that a lot of companies are making. I think
That
LG
that'd
made
be
one.
that would be awesome if um that would be super convenient if that got to me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of handheld PCs
I
that are
didn't
being
tell you
created
this,
now.
but like I saw someone was playing Baldur's Gate on the Steam Deck that day we went to New York. Like
Yeah.
on my way into the city, I saw someone on the train holding one playing Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Steam Deck.
Yeah,
Oh wow. And yeah, so it's just I think the Steam Deck is the future because the Steam Deck kind of copied off the Nintendo Switch. So I think the Steam Deck really is like the future now. But Sony, instead of making the stupid handheld where you cannot leave your house without it, they should really just invest into the PSP, the PSP Vita, the portable PlayStation thing, right?
they shut down the Vita.
Oh, they did.
Yep,
Oh yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, they did. But that was a stupid move.
discontinued. Well, I mean, the Vita sold like crap. It did not sell as well as the PSP.
Oh, I see.
But also like they thing is
Yeah,
like
but
they saw Nintendo was as soon as like Nintendo like stopped like supporting the 3DS, they kind of like say like, oh, we don't need mobile gaming, I guess. We're PlayStation. Uh, it's honestly, it makes me laugh. I mean, like PlayStation isn't as bad of at business decisions as Microsoft,
mm-hmm.
but like, holy crap, is PlayStation kind of bad?
Yeah, they made some stupid moves.
You know,
Yeah.
like in fact, like none of the big three are actually like they're all faltering in some way. With Xbox just being like failing like across the board. I don't know.
True.
Like they're gonna have to hope Starfield does well.
So
Yeah, we
basically
need Dante
everything.
for this. He's the Xbox guy.
Well, maybe next time. But yeah, so basically Sony, they're just overpricing themselves. $200 devices, 200 like $150 earbuds. Come on, man. You know, I think that people
I
could
mean, like these
hardly
are the
get their hands
same
on a
like
PlayStation
these are
5.
the same dumbos that released the had the PlayStation 5 like with scarcity at during COVID and like not like lowering the price.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's the best time to actually price gouge. So I'm surprised if they didn't raise the price.
Yeah,
Oh
with
well, that's what
inflation.
happened. Like all this price gougers bought the limited PS5s and then they sold it for thousands of dollars
Oh
on
yeah.
eBay. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the future, hopefully, these companies make a better plan to prevent scalpers from just snatching up all the goodies. All right, guys. So on our next topic, I really wanted to talk about this one because it has to do with animation, the animation industry, and just layoffs. Everybody's
In
laying off.
America,
What's that?
or in Japan.
Well, it's industry wise, so it doesn't have to do with Japan necessarily, but it's mainly in the
Oh,
West, mainly in the West.
so this is a video. Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
So
what could be causing that.
yeah, so it has to do with the writer's strike as well. But I mean, overall, do you guys remember, like towards the beginning of the show, I told you that like Hollywood is not gonna have any original movies until 2027, right?
Yes.
Right. So it's we kind of have to expect the same with animation, with cartoons and stuff. It's kind of it's because there's a lot of cuts happening. For example, here it says 2023 has been an ugly year for the animation industry as labor unions revolt across Hollywood and media conglomerates bear the consequences of streaming growth at any cost. The animation industry, right, has been caught in the middle. Work has dried up, and many studios have cut back on employment. And they
That's
actually have a list here.
This is actually kind of sad because I wanted to be an animator. I went to college to get an animation degree.
Oh, really?
That never turned out. But I'm using the skills, the editing skills I learned to YouTube now.
Yeah, and but you know what? I think you have to move to California still to be an animator.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Not
Film.
necessarily. Not
Oh,
necessarily.
really?
There are
Yeah.
like small films stuff. Like what I really wanted was like games. I couldn't find like the AAA studios only hire people who have worked on games before, and since I haven't, that was my problem. I there was no starting position.
Yeah, I want to hear what Daniel has to say
Oh
about
yeah,
because with the
sorry,
writer's
Daniel.
strike.
I cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, about you want my opinion on the writer's strike or about the what I said about the animation?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
the
Oh,
animation and the writer's strike because they're
Okay.
both kind of like part of the same problem in a way.
Well, basically the reason that I said what I said is because I'm in Montreal, and Montreal is basically not necessarily the mecca, but like most visual effects of most movies and most games and most cartoons or anything that is done in Hollywood is done here in Montreal.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
if let's say you look, whatever the last movie was, the last blockbuster I remember watching was Ant-Man. Let's say, for example,
Yeah.
a big portion of it was done in Montreal.
Oh, wow.
So yes, the production is Hollywood, but they outsource almost like how to explain this? Like, okay, when you have a big budget film and you have a lot of CG, a lot of visual effects, you have one company that does the matting, one company that does the texture, one company that does this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically subcontracted to a lot of companies in Montreal. So if let's say you want to do get into animation, and plus we also have a Ubisoft branch here. We have
Right.
like
Ubisoft
two
is
other
Canadian.
ones.
Yeah.
Yes, but like headquarters is in Montreal, and they're big in the gaming industry.
Oh
They still
man.
are a
Mm,
major player.
gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
so even if it's a Montreal, even if it's a Hollywood type of production or financier, the hands and feet, so to speak, a lot of them are in Montreal.
Yeah. Oh,
Gotcha.
speaking of Ubisoft, that new Assassin's Creed, I might actually get it. It looks like it's going back to the roots of the franchise.
Oh yeah, the new Assassin's Creed, and they're gonna have one about Japan too. So that looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right, and so and
And on the
also the
writer's strike, you wanted?
yes, go
Sorry,
ahead,
I
go
didn't
ahead,
mean to
go ahead.
interrupt. Oh no, on the right, like my opinion on the writer's strike essentially is that never mind if you agree with the quality or the subject matter that's put out here and there. My understanding is that if, let's say, the industry as a whole produces something,
Mm-hmm.
everybody should have a piece of the pie. Now, if it's like the one thing that I understand that the strike is about is essentially revenue sharing on the streaming platforms. So the writers have been cut out on that one, and that's my understanding why the strike happened to begin with. If they've been cut out of that, then everybody else gets to eat off of the streaming platform revenue. They should be in there.
Mm.
So I understand, but this is not like judging the quality whether it's good or bad. That's besides the point. It's still people's livelihood, and if, let's say, the director, the actor, the producer, everybody else gets a piece of that, the writers who are the backbone, whether it's a stable backbone or not, they should get some of it too.
Yeah. But do you think that because one of the main reasons why some people are quote unquote happy with the writer's strike is that a lot of these writers were kind of like they were writing crappy shows. So in a way, like even people that follow my YouTube channel, they say, well, they kind of do you, so my
Yeah.
question is,
Well,
do
the
you
thing
think they
is,
deserve it? Do you
well,
think they deserve it?
the thing is, Andy, like, yeah, like a lot of like, crappy people got hit, but now like, a bunch of like the few good people that were there also get hit because now they can't work because the union won't let them.
Right.
And also, it's a catch-22. Okay, so the writers are putting out crap material, but the producers approved the crap material. The director directed the crap material. The actors acted in the crap
Yeah,
material.
someone had to
So, I
hire
mean,
them, someone had to greenlight their projects.
exactly. So if everybody else gets the revenue sharing from the streaming and the writers are cut out, like as I said before, take away whether you like the material or not. Like I don't think anybody disputes that the material and the quality of what is being written or produced in general has been lowered. But if there is a revenue stream that one specific party is cut out, it's unfair because the industry as a whole, like the everybody is like a cog in the machine, So
Yeah.
good or bad, they're all in it together.
Yeah, and I gotcha. And they laid off thousands of people. I think what, like almost 3,000, something like that. It's a pretty big number.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan necessarily of the corporations because everybody, for example, they dump on Disney, they dump on Warner Brothers, they dump on MCU, and
Yeah.
and they dump on the writers as well. So everybody gets the piece of that pie as well. So there's like a saying, like, okay, if you're with me when I have no food, you're definitely going to be with me when I eat.
Right. So going back to animation, I mean, now people work from home. I mean, my current day job is from home. I haven't gone to the office, since like I think like 2021. I haven't gone back to the office. So and it's pretty sweet. So um, I mean, but shouldn't that be like more affordable since people don't necessarily have to go to the office? Shouldn't it be more affordable to like hire animators, with no office space?
Uh,
I'm
it
just
depends on the industry. Like, well, with the animators, I mean, you still have to put an infrastructure from an IT perspective so they can work with proper performance. Like if let's say the render farms are on sites,
Mm-hmm.
and you have like a really bad internet connection, you're not as productive as the office. So it depends. Like it depends what part you're involved with. If let's say they're setting you up at home with proper internet and the proper things, and the infrastructure is well placed for you to work from home, absolutely.
Yeah. Andy, like I just want to share a little bit. So like he just Daniel just mentioned like reindeer farms. I remember like learning about this in
Mm-hmm.
my college classes. Like so, like when Disney like made Frozen, like they had like an entire warehouse full of computers rendering all that snow.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, like for the Disney, like they have like like these big plants just full of computers, and then just for rendering, it's pretty like and like rendering like like you render your videos and stuff, but rendering 3D is like it takes so much power and
Yeah.
Oh
so
yeah.
much processing power. Like I know that from experience. It took
Wow.
me like days. It took me like almost like 13 hours to like render my senior thesis project that's actually buried deep down on my YouTube channel.
Mm.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
No,
Yeah,
but
man.
that being said, like if let's say you were geographically closer to the render farms, and or maybe just directly working on them, like it's a much better experience in terms of getting your work done. So again, it depends how the whole thing is set up. What part are you what your job is, what part are you responsible for. There's a lot of variables.
Oh, definitely. And let's go ahead and move on to our next topic over here. Because this I actually found this out on Facebook through the Geeks and Gamers channel. So this is coming from the Facebook page, Box Office Mexico, right? And basically they're saying that it's actually confirmed. So I don't know how the news came into Mexico exactly. Um, but basically, Disney is planning on race swapping Hercules for the live action adaptation.
Well, I knew they were going to mess up Hercules to begin with, just because, just to find some way to get back at James Woods.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wait.
he voiced Hades, and he's also like extremely vocal about politics. I'm not sure if you're up on that.
James Wood, I haven't heard his story with Disney.
Oh,
So
no, James Wood. Well, I mean, you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, right?
yes, of course.
Yeah, so James Wood voices Hades.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, I don't know much about James Wood, honestly. That's
Well,
like
like he is like just look on his
He's an
look.
OG actor. He's a he's kind of like in the Gene Hackman category. Robert there. He's been around for a while.
Oh, okay. So he's
Yeah,
been.
yeah, and he has like like the wrong opinions. Like he like supports like the wrong people in politics and stuff. And so like
Oh,
and like
okay,
so
okay, okay, okay.
even like he used to have Family Guy cameos. Even like Family Guy like shat on him
Yes.
because he was like voicing like he was becoming too vocal.
Okay, now
So
it's
like
starting to make
I
sense.
already knew they were going to ruin Hercules, and Hercules is great. Like,
I
it
love
was a great
Hercules.
movie. Yeah, yeah. Like there's a reason they kept bringing it back in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, this is one of the it's Hercules and Aladdin. It's one of my favorite
Yeah,
Disney
so like
movies.
hopefully Disney just runs out of money before this even like gets into like greenlit. Like, because I really do not. I've never liked these Disney remakes since Maleficent. Never.
Well,
Even
I'm gonna
before
be
they
very
started doing the race swapping thing, I thought they were all garbage.
I'm
The
gonna
only
be
one
very
I
honest.
liked was the Alice in Wonderland one, because it made the story a little edgier.
Mm.
And it also had Christopher Lee as a dragon, so that right there is awesome.
Okay, now um, I will say that at least the Beauty and the Beast live action, I actually thought it was pretty darn good, right?
I was about to say, yeah, I think it was the
With Emma
closest in terms
Watson
of the spirit of the anime of the sorry of the
animation.
animated movie.
Yeah, I did not see it.
All right, yeah. I mean, if there's one live action adaptation of Disney movies, it will be the Beauty and the Beast. Hold on, why is this here? Uh, but um, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
still
this is
have no interest because the original is just like the original Beauty and the Beast. Like that was one of the movies, that and Lion King. I would pop one Disney movie into my VHS tape, and then when I was done watching it, I rewind the tape and watch it again.
yeah. I mean, I think we all did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Lion
Uh,
King is that one for me. Yeah,
Yeah, so what really sucks about these live action adaptations is that when people don't like it, especially when there's a race war, when people do not like it,
yeah, they
is
use
that
that as a
actors, well, the actors suffer. Like I'm like this guy right here. I mean, I feel sorry for him because I'm pretty sure he's a good actor,
oh
but then
yeah.
now, and I don't blame him for taking the part because hey, if you ask me, hey Andy Matrix, we'll give you $5 million to play George Washington. Are you kidding me? I will
Oh,
play the
oh
shit
yeah.
out of George
What if
Washington.
of
like
course.
what about the Snow White actress? Like I mean, yeah, she said something really stupid, but who do you think told her to say those stupid things?
Yeah,
Disney.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
like that's the other thing. Like like Disney is very antagonistic in their marketing tactics, especially when they do stuff like this. They play it like look how they marketed the Obi-Wan show. Like they opened it
Oh
up not
man.
by saying like how much they had Ewan McGregor go into his car and decry all the racist Star Wars fans. Just because of like supposed like DM threats the actress was getting. It's like how way to like suck the enjoyment out of like a show.
Yeah, but that ruins the actors' careers though.
I probably does. It probably does. Disney does not give a shit. Like all
Especially
these people.
if it's a new face.
Yeah, yeah. Like all these actors are just props to Disney. It's
Yeah.
very shallow.
Like who heard about Rachel Zegler before the Snow White movie?
Apparently, she's been in things, but most of them have been like box office like bombs.
Oh
I think
wow.
she was in something recently. I forget. Oh, she was. I think she was in that that remake of West Side Story that bombed.
Yeah. Daniel, you were gonna say something?
No, no, no. Sorry, brain fart right now. Like, I forgot what I was going to say.
No, it's okay. So yeah, and I was saying that the actors are the ones that pay for it because again, although they're being paid highly paid for these positions, like this guy plays Hercules, and then there's a lot of backlash, and then his career suffers, and then the people kind of portray him as a bad guy,
I
even though
mean,
he's
like
not,
also like I'm
right?
just looking at his build right now. Like he looks like he could play like the skinny Hercules, but like how's he going to be when Herc like gets his training montage and bulks up?
Oh yeah, once he gets
The
bulked up
Rocky
like
Yeah,
years
are they
later.
Henderson.
gonna like CGI like muscles on him? Like, or is he?
He's probably gonna have to really like build his body for that role, man.
Yeah, unless like they half-ass it and just don't do that, and because like I wouldn't be surprised if they just half-ass it. Like you got to at least make him like buff. It's
Yeah,
that was a
about
big part
that.
of Hercules was like the zero to hero.
Yeah, about that. I actually wanted to cover this other page here. So they're saying that it's confirmed. Hold on. It says confirmado el live action de Hercules estará inspirado. Yeah, they're basically saying that the live action of Hercules will be inspired by modern day TikTok.
What?
What
And
the
yeah. Actually, hold on a second. Hold on. Live action Hercules
oh
TikTok. There was okay, here it is. Here's the article.
You mean it's going to be a
oh yeah, I
3 minute
think
live
I
action?
I don't know, man.
oh
It
yeah.
said
So
this.
this is from last year. I'm not sure. I mean, if they actually do that, like I don't know. Maybe it's because they're afraid of doing like the whole muses with the pop like singing, like but that actually worked. That worked in the original movie.
What the
with the muses. You know, the little girls that sing.
Oh, okay.
Eh,
Like, okay, yeah, the ones that are like in the pottery and stuff.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, but I mean, it's the producer. It's like Joe Russo says Hercules will be more experimental, inspired by TikTok. Says
Oh, wait. So the
that's not
Russo
really.
brothers are tying themselves to this monstrosity? Oh God.
I mean, it's how do you put TikTok and Hercules together? Like, I don't get that.
Why
Like,
are
how do
the
you?
Russo
Yeah,
Russo
that's what I
brothers
don't
should just
get. So
stick
what
to
do you mean
making
inspired
more
by TikTok? Oh, sorry.
they should just stick to making more extraction movies on Netflix. They shouldn't they should just move on from Disney.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
I want to hear what Daniel has to say about this. Come on, man.
No, I mean, like I'm still trying to understand what does TikTok have to do with ancient Greece?
Maybe TikTok inspired music, like the original was a musical.
If
Oh
it's a
man, I
three,
tell you.
if let's say it's a filter and a 3 minute long adaptation, fine, go nuts.
I don't know, but it basically is Joe Russo's directing. He said we won't be ready to do anything with Marvel until the end of the decade. I said we have an amazing relationship. Where is it? I says I think the exciting thing to see we can all bring in a way that wasn't just reinterpretation of the animation film. Yeah, you see right there. Like why are they like steering away? I don't know. This just sounds like they're kind of steering away from the source material.
Well, that's what every Disney live action
You
adaptation
know.
does. Like, they're trying to like fix things that aren't right with the original. Like, they did that with the whole Maleficent, where they made it a whole wrapping paper allegory when he stole her wings without her consent.
Mhm.
The
The
made the
only
king.
the only devil's advocate that I will say is that didn't The Rock play Hercules also?
Yes, yes, yes. He
Oh,
did.
So it's not
why don't they
breaking new
just get The
ground
Rock
in a
to play
sense.
Hercules again? I'd see The Rock as Hercules. Like, like it's just like that's the same way I defend like Jason Momoa as Aquaman, because I mean, like he was like, okay, he's not blonde haired, blue eyes, but like he looks freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I'm not as I mean, I'm not against the race swap thing if it's about the performance. Like the example that I constantly go back to is Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin in the 2003 Daredevil. I
Oh,
had
okay.
zero problems with that one because he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, like
But
if
also
the
the
actor is
Kingpin
good,
is not.
I can forgive almost like any race swap. Like if the acting is good, that's why like the whole Castlevania, the first Castlevania anime, where they had Lance Reddick as Isaac, even though like Isaac was more of a flamboyant redhead in the original game, like they made Lance's Isaac was more like conniving, and he had like a more like fleshed out backstory, and kind of more of a purpose. So like and because of that, he was a more memorable character than this one-off villain from a one-off game, who looked like he's like just stepped out of Emma Crombie.
No, but also like the race swap has to be somewhat logical to the character. I'll give you an example. Hopefully, nobody gets upset with this. Basically, there's no way, for example, that Batman can be black
Mm-hmm.
because Batman and Wayne, like the Wayne family, come from old money, which it wasn't really a possibility for a black person back then to amass that kind of wealth up until today. So if you
Mm-hmm.
think about the character and like the historical money that the Waynes have, it doesn't make sense. But if let's say like a new age character that's been established, like let's say for example somebody hit it on Bitcoin, all of a sudden they have like 2,000 Bitcoins and he cashes everything out and he has money until the end of time kind of thing, makes sense. If let's say it's
Mm-hmm.
like a
Well,
Mark Zuckerberg type of character, okay, it makes sense because it's new money.
I mean, here's an example. Did you watch Gotham on Fox?
No, I avoided it like the plague.
Oh,
Okay.
I liked it.
No,
I
I
liked
mean
it.
one thing about me that I don't know, maybe you haven't heard yet. I'm not a Batman fan,
Ah,
but like for me, my favorite. But I do love the Batman animated series.
oh yeah,
Of
I
course.
think,
Batman the animated series is like one of the best like animated shows of all time.
and maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot right now, but the reason that I don't like Batman as a concept is that I do like a certain sense of realism in my characters. And let me explain. If somebody shoots your parents, your first instinct should not be to dress like a rat and jump from the roof. It would be more Punisher style. That would be a more realistic reaction.
Ah,
But also, if let's say Batman is as is and everything is good, keep him in Gotham because it's almost a running joke in a sense that okay, well, what's your superpower? I'm rich. You know, so you don't put him up against Doomsday. You don't put him up against Lobo or that kind of. If you keep him within Gotham, perfect because his rogues gallery within Gotham is some of the best there is. But when you put him in all these fantastical situations, and he has a solution for absolutely everything in his utility belt, you're diminishing what he can offer.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's my view on it. So I'm not dumping on that on the character
yeah.
itself. I just like the premise around it just doesn't vibe with me. That's all.
I don't know. Batman's always just been like one of my favorite like DC characters. Like, I know like he's like the most popular. Like, it's okay. I'm not a big Superman guy. You know, I know.
I think most people like Batman. They prefer Batman.
Oh no, I understand. And also there's that saying that everybody wants to date Batman, but they want to marry Superman.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
hello, welcome.
Sorry?
Oh no,
in the chat.
James says this is his first time here.
Hello
Nice to meet
everyone. This
you.
Oh,
is the first
Welcome.
hi
time.
James.
All right, so we're reaching the end of the show. Unfortunately, I had a lot of fun having Daniel over here. Just having somebody that actually makes films. Give us their take on current pop culture
Yeah.
and all that.
Oh, Andy,
Hmm.
drop a link. Show the website for the movie.
Oh yeah, actually, let me share it. Hold on a second. Let me screen share. Hold on a second. All right, guys. So, for our guest here today, Daniel, make sure to go and check out his. It's an independent film, right?
Yes.
Right. So go to yamchafilm.com. In Yamcha, as in the character from Dragon Ball, yamchafilm.com says Sea Wolf, a Yamcha story. And Daniel, can you tell us a little bit about this film here?
So basically this film takes place about 4 years after the Cell saga. So
Okay.
basically the entire squad is kind of broken apart. They're still kind of like healing from the loss of Goku. Everybody has their own way of dealing with it. Uh, this is basically Yamcha's journey with from kind of like rediscovering himself because he feels a little bit lost. Like the Goku, the character, and the friend that he had since the beginning, since he was about
Mm-hmm.
17 or 16 years old, has died, and he's trying to find his bearings again.
Oh,
Ah,
that
okay.
sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think there was also a manga about Yamcha recently. Like,
There was. I got reincarnated as Yamcha, kind of thing.
yeah, right.
No way.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was, there was.
yeah. So
Although,
basically,
although, mhm.
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, although the manga didn't really become popular.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's an official manga or if it's a fan manga, but the concept is that the reader or like a Dragon Ball fan ends up somehow being reincarnated as Yamcha. So he goes through all the storyline of Dragon Ball as Yamcha, but he knows how the story
Yeah.
goes.
It,
So he
it
knows how
must
to
be
avoid those pitfalls.
Hmm.
it must be fan made. Like Tomorama doesn't remember any character that's not Goku or Vegeta.
Right. Yeah, it's probably fan made. That's crazy. So, By the way, is this a trailer or like a whole episode?
No, this is part one. It's meant to be a feature film, but because I'm
Mm-hmm.
self-financing it, I'm releasing it in three parts. But it was shot, and it will be one full, approximately hour and a half movie. So
Okay,
this
and
is just
also,
just the first part.
hmm okay, it's just the first part. And is there a trailer for this that we can play right now?
The trailer. I mean, like the closest thing after a trailer is essentially the opening title sequence.
Okay, I see. Well, all right. So we're gonna direct people to the website yamchafilm.com. Make sure everybody go check it out, and
Yes.
yeah, and support the project. I like fan films. I like these independent films because I'm pretty sure you've seen those like indie films on YouTube about like Naruto and Dragon Ball, right? Those projects.
Yes, and there's one fantastic one about the trunk storyline with
Yes.
Light of Hope. It's fantastic.
Right, and I like the Naruto side stories with that they did with Shikamaru
Oh yeah,
and
that
Rock
was
Lee.
great. The guy who played Hiden was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, like some of these people that make these these short films, they do a fantastic job at it, and I think they should be part of Hollywood,
Yeah,
or you know,
Yeah,
they should get
that's what the
jobs.
heart is basically.
yeah,
Like when you do fan projects, it comes from the heart. It's like okay, you love this franchise, you love these characters. Let me show you why I love these characters. And it shows. It's they're very captivating. There's I can't think of any fan made film that I've seen that was just horrible on all angles. Like the only thing that can go against it is like, okay, like your pockets are not deep enough. I mean, yeah, we're fans, we're not studios, so we're trying. As I said before, I really give A for effort. If it comes from a good place and you really try to make something that's essentially a love letter to the property that you resonate with, is just phenomenal.
yeah, definitely. And all right, well, we're reaching the end of the show, and what we do at the end of the show is that we give recommendations as to things that we're watching, things video games that we're playing, what kind of like a media we are currently consuming. So I would like to start right now. Just say I finished reading Vagabond, which is a manga about a samurai trying to become one of the best swordsmen under the sun, as he says, invincible under the sun, he says. Vagabond, and I also started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I love part one. I love part one. How do you like it so far?
I've actually been loving part one. I was surprised. I was actually surprised. I'm enjoying it. I'm no lie. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a pretty
Yeah.
cool anime. So and as far as video games, I have not been gaming lately. So what about you, Dash?
Well, okay. So as far as games, like I kind of need to I need to find something new to play. I was trying FF16 on the Final Fantasy mode.
Mm-hmm.
Doing all the new game plus stuff, and yeah, the mix up anime placement. It's pretty cool. Other than that, I watched the first episode of Baki on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
it reminds me of it. It's like Rocky but anime.
nice. Daniel, anything you want to share? Any shows, games that maybe video games that you've been checking
Well,
out?
the one video game, I mean, my son, he loves DBZ Kakarot, so we purchased the latest DLC, which is about the tournament. Because he went bonkers for it, because as I said, he was watching the OG Dragon Ball, and he just crazy loves the Piccolo saga. So when that thing came out, he basically begged me to purchase it, and we're playing it, and it's short and sweet. Me as a Yamcha fan, I was disappointed because I was hoping I would play Yamcha, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really well made for that short uh, subplot that it has. So, uh, at least from a perspective of a 9-year-old, that person, my son, loved it. And in terms of a movie or something that I'm watching, I recently rewatched the movie that introduced me to the term anime, because I've seen a lot of anime, but I was young at the time, so for me it was just
Mm-hmm.
cartoons. And it was the one that introduced me was the Ninja Scroll movie from '92.
Oh, okay. And that's how you got into the whole anime, right?
No, that's what introduced me to the term. I've
Oh,
watched
the
before,
term,
like
the term.
Vulture.
Okay,
Yeah, the
okay.
term.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the term anime was until that
Oh,
movie.
okay. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
because I've
See,
watched Speed Racer, I've watched like Dragon Ball. I didn't know that for me, Dragon Ball was a cartoon. Like it was not anime. So, but
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
Ninja
know, same
Scroll,
for me for the longest time. Like, you know, and same for my dad who watched Speed Racer when he was
yeah.
younger.
Yeah.
Speed Racer, you had Goldorak, like I watched like a Space Pirate, like I've watched all of those things. It's just I didn't know what the term anime was until Ninja Scroll. And that movie still holds up. It has everything that you want out of an anime.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really wasn't until the early 2000s, around, the Toonami era, when they were airing Dragon Ball. That's when we discovered that it was actually supposed to be called anime. But before that, there was the term Japanimation.
There was, yes.
Yeah,
So,
Japanimation.
but for us, because for me, like as I said, I'm a '90s kid in terms of my
Yeah.
teenage years.
Hmm.
Uh, the first 13 episodes of Dragon Ball aired on TV in a circa '93 or something like that, or 90, 92, something around that area.
Nice.
And it was just the 13 episodes of the Pilaf saga. So for me, it was like, okay, that's an awesome cartoon. And then when Dragon Ball Z hit it big, like with Funimation and everything, like with the ocean dubs, because for
Yeah,
me, I learned about the rest of Dragon Ball through fan subs.
of course.
So that's how dated I am. But yeah, so Ninja Scroll, it still holds up. It's wonderful. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's violent, it's gory, it's at time absurd, it's funny. It's still very well executed.
Nice, nice, man. All right, so we gotta wrap it up, guys. I had so much fun. Really enjoy having Daniel Hill on the show.
Thank
Always like, professional, point of view. And guys, remember, go check out his website, yamchafilm.com. Check out the film. Actually, I'm actually gonna start watching it once we're done with the stream.
Thank
So
you. If you want
with
the YouTube channel directly, it's youtube.com/zwolfmovie.
Awesome, awesome. Guys, make sure to support. And with that, that's pretty much it. This is Andy Matrix with Dash Attack, Daniel of Z Wolf. Everybody, you have a good night and Godspeed, baby. See you guys later.